Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Photo Memoirs. My name is Don, and today we're taking a look at some of my old photographs and just kind of seeing what we can learn. So, I took these photographs back in March of last year, so just about a year ago in Jeju Island, South Korea. And let's see what we can kind of guess from these. As you know, I'm really into black and white photography, but for these photographs, I think that just color works much better. It's much more pleasing, I think. And basically, what we're doing is we're doing long exposure. So if you can see from the picture, uh, the water and the mist kind of all kind of blurs together. It looks like it's been moving really fast. Now that is because I used a long exposure, a long shutter speed. So if you check out my settings here, I'm using ISO 100 with 35 millimeter lens, f20, and this is a 2 second exposure. So pretty much as the light moves, that is going to be very blurry throughout um, the start of the shutter until the end. It's going to keep moving, so it creates that kind of blur. So it makes a really cool effect with water if you're experimenting with taking photos of water. If you're at the beach or if you're at the sea, definitely try to look into that. Try to experiment. It can really result in some really fascinating images. And so here, you see here that I have some different variations of the same photograph. And pretty much as I was working with it in Lightroom, I made adjustments. And sometimes I'll just export them one at a time until I get it to where I like it. And then still I can go back and see the different variations that I've created basically. So this is the kind of just the first one, but I change it to color. All right, we get a nice blue there. But what I did was I continued to work on the image and I, increased the saturation, the vibrance, and I really brought up a lot of the color and the on the rocks and of course on the sea. It was a really gloomy day, right? There was not much going on. It was just a very windy day. Um, the sky was very boring, very plain and boring. So there's not a whole lot that can be done here, but definitely I really enjoyed the color version over that black and white, and I think I really got a nice photograph here. So I continued on and I kind of experimented. Okay, same thing. Started out with the black and white, but I changed to color. There we go. So very similar. The just the color photographs, I think, with the nice blue aqua type feel, and then the motion of the water as the waves kind of splash against the rocks, really make for very interesting photographs. And I was kind of experimenting quite a lot. What rock should I kind of focus on? What should be my main focus point? And that just takes a lot of creative thinking. You have to go out and you have to think about, what's going to work best. You have to really use your eyes to kind of judge what's going to make for the best. And of course, with the water coming in, you just have to judge, okay, where's the water going to hit? Where is it going to splash? And you have to kind of test it out. You can just test it out, right? If you have extra time, you spend there, you take a photo, take another photo, and sometimes you take a dozen photos to figure out exactly the type of movement that's going to be in the photograph, and then you make adjustments as you go so that you get the result that you're kind of looking for. So, right, so I don't know if this is the same. This might be the same rock, but I'm just getting down closer into the water. And so I remember my shoes all getting wet and socks, and yeah, it was messy. But I think it was really worth it. See the big change there, just above shooting down into the rock compared to getting down closer to the rock and shooting up. And then, of course, we get all the cool colors on the rock as well. still with all that water movement, which is something that I really like doing. Again, as the new waves come along, you take more and more photos and try to get that nice one that you really like. There's a third position there. Again, so basically this water hits the rock and it goes up and all the water turns white, right? And basically what happens is this turns all this into the white. So if there's any type of light moving, then it's going to turn right away. It's going to carry through the entire image. Okay, so this was also I was getting ready to leave, heading back, and then this couple, they're walking through, and then, yeah, I definitely had to set up and take advantage of that. And this is probably one of my favorite images, although I wasn't actually intending to shoot or take photographs of any people there. This ended up being one of my favorite photographs of the bunch. Just this couple that come to take a picture, and um, you can see I've changed my settings here. I'm at ISO 100. All right, still keeping the ISO low, and 35 millimeter lens still, and now I'm at f14, and I have it for a 0.3 second shutter speed. And so what happens is, as you can see, it's a windy day, and as they move, they get a little blurry. Right, so same thing. She's moving, her hair is moving. It gets a little bit blurry, which is fine. That's what you expect when you're using a slightly slower shutter speed. And then, so this is creatively done, right? So I have a tripod set down nice and sturdy on the rocks, and then pretty much the water's what's moving and the people's what's moving. So that's why you get the blur on those things. And then the rocks, the sand, there's no blur here because my tripod is set in place, nice and sturdy. The only thing that's going to have that blur is things that are moving. So you'll see that over here in the water, right? You get kind of that same feeling over here. And then of course it's most noticeable on the jacket and on the hair. So yes, that's one of my favorite photographs from this little series. I hope you enjoy, and I'd really love to know your comments and questions on these type of photographs because I want to do my best to help you learn. So go ahead, anything that you're curious about, anything that you're thinking about, just leave me a quick comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and hopefully I can help you further. So this has been great. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead, give me a like, give me a subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and I look forward to talking more photography in the next video. Take care.